Greetings, brothers and sisters. How are you doing? I'm your sister Cece for PQLR1 Radio, where Yah is first. Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of what? Be Well Wednesday. Because why? We want you to be well. We know that there's lots of information going out there concerning health, but we want to make sure that you hear it first from here, what it is that you need to be well. From food to the air to the poison in the environment or whatever, we want to make sure that you know what it is that you need to do. Fitness, motivation, meditation, of course, meditating on the word of the Most High Yah. We want you to be well. So if you'd like to call in at any time or text, you can do so at 314-744-9414. I have to still read that because I don't know it by heart. 314-744-9414. And you can also message us on any of the social sites, of course. That would be Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I think we have a TikTok. If we don't, we'll get it. Like all of the sites, just type in PQLR1 Radio, where Yah is first. And we just want you to join us. We want you to be well. Today is Wednesday, and we are talking to our brother again. We talked to him last week, but my goodness, we got so involved with the word. I wanted to make sure that we had the proper platform for him to promote what it is that he does. His name is Brother Luka, and his business is KKan Motivate. Welcome, brother. How are you doing today?
Shalom, shalom. Thank you for having me once again, and it's a pleasure to be here. And I'm ready to get into talking about health. This is what I'm about. I'm a personal trainer, and I'm your best motivator now.
Perfect. Let's give you some hand claps there. Let's make sure we get to you. We're so thankful to the Most High Yah for raising up people who are dedicated to making sure that people can live their best life.
Yes.
I know that for myself, there's a journey to be spoken of, but I'm gonna suppress because I know that I've spoken of myself and my husband's journey concerning health and wellness. So, first of all, before we get started, why don't we let people know how to get a hold of you, how to access your content before we even get started?
Okay. So the way to get a hold of me is through a platform called Instagram. So that's at KKan, yeah, motivate, all in one word. And then you can find me, you can follow me, and then you can reach out, send me a message. I'm generally really good at responding on there.
Mhm.
Secondly, you can send me an email. Again, it's kcanmotivate@gmail.com. And then thirdly, you can even reach out onto my website, which is www.kcanmotivate.com. And there's even a chat there. You can send messages and I'll respond likewise. So you've got three ways you can get hold of me. Okay. Yeah.
That is great. So now are you producing like YouTube videos, or is it Instagram that they should depend on to see you?
Yeah, so if you want to like see content from me, then you really want to go to Instagram. YouTube is not something I'm into at the moment.
Okay.
So Instagram is the way to reach out and to see stuff for what I'm doing right now.
Okay. Okay. That makes the most sense. Everybody kind of has their go-to platform, and yours seems to be Instagram.
Yeah.
I don't know that I have a favorite, but I find myself more on Facebook, I guess, because it's the oldest one. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um,
The funny thing is, though, you can actually reach me on Facebook as well. There is a Facebook page, and what tends to happen whenever I post on Instagram, it goes straight to the Facebook story as well. So
yes,
you,
yes.
yeah,
They kind of I think they're sister and brother, Facebook and
yeah,
Instagram. Yeah, they're
that's
kind of related, so they make that happen. But that's good. Okay, so I know that I came across your information because I saw another sister with your information, and I just kind of did a bookmark in the back of my head, like, oh, I need to connect with him. And then next thing I know, there was your information right in front of me, and I was like, wow,
right.
praise yeah, you know. Uh,
Brilliant. Wow.
yeah. So talk with us about your journey concerning fitness. How did you get started in this fitness journey?
Right. So we have to go way back when I was 11 years old. So
Mm-hmm.
over 20 years ago, I was 11 years old. I was always an very, very active kid.
Okay.
So I was a child that I would get into any sport. I would just love to give it a try. And I started off playing basketball, funny enough.
Okay.
Then I took a liking to soccer. And then I pretty much fell in love with soccer, and I've been playing soccer like as a professional athlete for professionally for over 4 or 5 years. And
Okay.
then before that, it's been a whole career, 15 years of trying to make it professional. So
Okay.
playing semi-professional, working on the side, and then I finally got towards the end of my career. The last like 5 years is when I really turned professional. So
Hmm.
that is my background. It's a sports background. I've
Hmm.
been an athlete for basically over 20 years.
Okay. Okay. Well, have you trained and worked with other professional athletes now that you are a trainer?
Yes, I have. There's a few soccer athletes that I help to train as well,
Hmm.
and they are actually in professional clubs right now.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, I've helped to train them in the past, and yeah, I've trained them. Currently, right now on my books, I don't have athletes. I have working people.
Okay.
Okay, that need
Commoners.
fitness. Yeah, commoners that need to get into fitness. But in the past, I have trained athletes. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. Well, what do you find exciting about training athletes? Because I would think that maybe they might be know-it-alls or maybe not. Like, what do you think? Is it just kind of a different?
Um, I don't think they are know-it-alls. That's in fact, even me as an athlete, I wasn't a know-it-all because most athletes when they come for my kind of service, it's usually to improve like their overall performance. And
Okay.
how do we do that? We're gonna do that through increasing their strength, increasing their speed, increasing their agility.
Mhm,
So all of these different aspects is gonna then help in their performance, translate to their performance,
mhm,
right? Unless it's going to be a really like, for example, technical, where it is literally just with the sport, which
mhm,
I've done before. For example, with soccer, it
mhm,
can be just soccer drills where now it's about practicing and improving their technique. But
mhm,
in general, when athletes come to me, it's going to be because they want to increase their physicalness in
mhm,
the game. They want to be more explosive. They want to have more stamina. And
mhm,
these are things that not every athlete knows how to do
mhm.
by themselves because they always rely on the coach.
Oh, and
So
he's
that's why they just do what the coach tells them to do, but they're not actually understanding what it's doing for them, you know?
okay. Okay. Well, I would think that they would really, really be acclimated to you because you are an athlete yourself versus just some person that's, in health and wellness, but you actually can understand the sports.
Yes.
Hmm.
And one thing as well, I had a little bit of a reputation for being the athlete that was always, so for example, whenever we're doing a drill, I'm always at the front. I'm always ahead of the pack. Sometimes I even lap the whole team. I was known to be very, very fit for a soccer player to the point where my energy didn't run out. You know, I could keep playing. And even in my later stages in my career,
Okay.
you'd match me up to an 18-year-old and I would still do more than an 18-year-old. And
Oh,
they'll be looking at me like, whoa, what is he eating?
what
You
is he
know?
on? He must be on steroids.
But it's not that. It's just
Steroids.
I have to give the award to my dad because he's the one that put it into me from the age of 17. 17 was when I really had a turnover, and my dad trained me daily because he was a professional himself. He
Oh,
played for his country, so he
okay.
played for Nigeria and played professionally in Nigeria and also a little bit in France. So he really had the knowledge and the know-how, and he kind of just passed it on to me. I took it, made it into my own, and now I know what to do for other people.
Wow,
You know,
that's amazing. So how does that devotion translate into your regular life? Do you look at your professionalism as an athlete or your ability as an athlete as a plus concerning, your everyday life?
definitely. And what you just said, is exactly why I want to bring fitness to people's lives because what it's going to do for you is going to create a level of discipline,
Hmm.
and that discipline is going to you're going to make sure that everything is in line.
Hmm.
It's going to be easier for you to stay on the straight path
Hmm.
than to stray from it.
Hmm.
Because what you're essentially building is habits. So
Hmm.
you're building structure to your life, you
Hmm.
know, and it's important that we enjoy doing it, you
Hmm.
know. So now for me, because I've built that discipline,
Hmm.
it's second nature to
Hmm.
go and get after my health.
Right.
So to translate that into professional life now,
Hmm.
if for example, I don't know, I wanted to become like a doctor.
Okay.
I would be able to easily follow those steps in becoming a doctor. If I need to study, okay, it's not a problem. I know how to, devote time
Hmm.
to study
Hmm.
every single day, work at it, because
Right.
that's what it is, working at it step by step every single day in order to get myself to that objective, you know.
Wow. Yeah.
Whereas, without that kind of discipline, we
Mhm.
might be like never getting started or never finishing. You
Right.
see? But
Right.
you do learn how to finish when you have this discipline and you have this ethic, this work ethic, you know?
Mm. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's probably very easy for us to stray away from the motivation. One, because there's so much noise. Like even as soon as you wake up, like most people, and I'm one, as soon as you wake up, like you don't sit for a while, think and just kind of contemplate your day or meditate. You might grab a device, whether it be your laptop, your phone, or something like that. So that automatically disrupts you. Like I could have a plan. Okay, at 5:30, I'm going to get up and I'm going to do some sort of exercise. But
Mhm.
you let your device distract you. So then before you know it, instead of getting up and at least walking on your treadmill for 20 minutes, you are now sending out emails, because you let that distract you.
So then now that's about putting in our mind why, what's your why? Why are we doing the exercise?
Right.
And what now we have to visualize being on my phone every time at 5:30, what does that give me versus if I was to actually exercise at 5:30 every morning just for 10 minutes, what will that give me? What does the new version of myself look like by exercising every day? So we really get into the psychological psyche of everything
Mhm.
and we have to kind of visualize that success already, you
Right.
know?
Right.
So that success being, for example, I want to be like, the real motivation is like, I want to be at 70 years old and still feel like I'm 40, you
Yeah.
know?
Or
I don't
200.
want to,
Yeah.
I don't want to struggle to have to walk up the stairs. I don't want to use assistance. I want to be able to play with my grandchildren,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
even my great
Yeah.
grandchildren. You
Yes.
see, so this is where now, and then that becomes like a way of life
Mhm.
versus just having like an aesthetic goal.
Mhm.
Once you reach the aesthetic goal,
Mhm.
you're happy, and then you're most likely going to rebound and go back to the
Yeah.
way.
That's
You see.
true. That's true. We know that it takes a certain amount of time to develop habits, whether they be bad or good. Can you speak to what you find the barrier for the people that you run into? I don't know if you've had like extreme cases, but what is the barrier realistically for people getting started, staying motivated, and just deciding to put the old way away? What is the biggest barrier?
I think the biggest barrier is most people don't know
Mhm.
this can really help them.
Okay.
Most people don't realize what really it does. Like what we're talking about here is premature death.
Yeah.
Okay, this exercising and being healthy can literally save lives. This
Yeah.
is why we have a high number of diabetes,
Mhm.
all of these diseases, cancers, even all of
Mhm.
these things can be prevented and can be controlled
Mhm.
if you live a healthy life.
Right.
So it's people need to be aware of that, and I don't think many people are aware of that. Also, it doesn't help that society is all geared towards making you sit on a couch and be in front of a device.
Mhm.
Even now, we have washing machines, we have dishwashers.
Mhm.
Before it was all by hand. So
Right.
even doing that, it was manual labor,
Yeah.
but it was good for you.
Mhm. Mhm.
Now everything, even to vacuum. Before you had a broom, you'd have to, now you just run it, or even you have the automatic robot vacuum and you just let it do
But
its thing. You
Roomba,
see,
yeah, you can turn that thing on and it does it for you.
it does it for you. So it's about being aware. And so there's that first barrier, just
Mhm.
being aware, becoming aware.
Mhm.
And the second barrier, people think, oh, it's too hard,
Mhm.
or I can't do it. Not everyone has a budget.
Mhm.
The budget is a sensitive one. It depends because it's about seeing the value in it. Some
Mhm.
people will rather see a value in buying a Louis Vuitton bag,
Oh.
yeah, versus something that you can keep with you for life and is gonna allow you to live a long,
Right.
healthy life. So it's about knowing the value of things.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, a lot of people, the biggest barrier I faced is one girl that I had, and I've been trying to motivate her for 6 months and all of this, and she still hasn't started yet.
Oh,
Uh, she still hasn't started. She's really, really on the fence. And what happened with her is I motivated her. It's like she wanted to go. She was ready to go. Come to start.
mhm.
Oh, okay. I will start another time. Try again 3 months later. She's like, oh no, the doctor says I have this and I have this and I have that. You know,
Goodness.
it's already someone that is in a bad health situation.
Mhm.
Uh, and obviously, sometimes what happens is people can see that you're coaching and you're doing stuff with other people. It can motivate them, but it
Mhm.
can also put them off
Yeah.
because sometimes they see what other people are doing and they're thinking, I can never do that. But
Oh,
I'm here to tell you, you most likely can do it. And
uh,
even if you can't do it, this is why I adapt. We adapt things to everyone's level.
right.
Everyone's level. I'm not going to give the same training to someone who's been a former athlete to someone who's never done sport and they're only just starting.
Right. Right.
It's
Right.
about that. And so this lady, she's a little bit on the fence, but there's also health complications there. She's
Uh,
even trying for a baby, and these things is complicating things as well.
yeah.
And so the doctor has actually advised her that, yeah, if you were doing exercise, it would really help your situation.
Right.
So I still have hope for her. I'm just following her gently. And I know the day she's going to start is going to be a breath of fresh air. And I'm going to remind her, do you know that we've been trying to start for at least almost a year now?
Oh my goodness, almost a year. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
almost a year.
crazy. And see, the thing is, we look at technology and we use it for what we want to use it for. It becomes like a comfort food or just something that's not actually really healthy if we're not utilizing it for what we can use it for. I mean, if you are on a fitness journey and you don't have much money, I mean, my goodness, you could just simply go online and there's so many things that you could do.
But so many people would not take that step. It's just about taking the step. They're at the stage of just thinking about it, but not making action, not taking a step. And
Right,
that's the problem. Many people, it's in their heads, and oh yeah, I'm gonna do it. And then they don't realize 6 months have gone by, 7 months have gone by, and I'm still just thinking about doing it. I haven't actually taken a step. So
right.
all I say to people is you've got to just give it a try. I know sometimes it can be uncomfortable, but give it a try. And I promise you, it's going to be the best thing for you. In the beginning, it
Mm,
might feel like, oh, it hurts and I can't take it.
mm,
But you will soon see yourself skin shining, more energy. And
right,
in the long run, you're going to keep the doctor away. Literally, you're not going to need the doctor
right.
anymore.
The
You
doctor's
know,
gonna say, "What are
I
you
can
doing?"
I can testify. I don't go to the doctor.
Mm,
Yeah, we all know at the end of it, yeah, be the praise,
well,
right?
yeah.
But there's things we can do to our health to help the situation as well.
Mm,
So I never got COVID,
okay,
and I never been vaccinated,
okay,
and I don't get sick. I get sick maybe once a year, and
okay.
it's just a cold.
And it
That's it.
rolls off just like that, like it's not anything major.
I'll just have, because again, I use natural remedies. So I might just have some lemon with ginger,
Some
honey.
honey. Hmm.
We all know those remedies, and
It's
I'm good.
rest. Yeah, people don't, rest is very underrated. Rest and walking, I believe, is very underrated, and that's something I want you to speak to, because I watch a show, and it makes me not exercise, but it makes me clean my house. And you know what show that is?
What's that?
My 600-pound life. Those people that are very large. Have you watched that show before?
Yeah, I've seen something like that before. Yeah, I know the.
That
Yeah,
show makes me get up. No, Hoarders makes me clean my house. My 600-pound life does make me think about getting myself together or what I might be eating or whatever. I mean, I don't have like an extreme problem, but my goodness, like I look at people on that show and I listen to the doctor. His name is Dr. Now. And oh, I just can't even imagine how getting started feels for people that are at that point. You know what I mean?
Very, very cool. And that's a good motivation right there, because you see that and you said, I don't want to be in this situation. So I need to go there and make sure I'm
Yeah.
doing something. Because
Yeah.
it's true, it can happen very quickly. One thing with weight or being overweight, it
Mm.
is very hard to lose. It
Yeah.
takes time.
Yeah.
And most people, when they start and they want to lose weight, they give up too early as well.
Mhm.
Have to follow the process. It can take 12 to 24 months
Mm.
to really get that weight loss,
Mhm.
And
And I
so,
think part of it is because, like, people don't understand you didn't get this way yesterday. It
no, you didn't.
it
Yeah, it
took
was
you
over.
a while to accumulate all this girth, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It did just jump on you, and you have to not only learn how to be physical, but you also have to learn to change your nutritional intake. Can you talk about that?
Yes. So with most weight loss, when you're really overweight like that,
Mhm.
80% is going to be your nutrition. The
Mhm.
exercise is going to supplement,
Mhm.
but 80% you can drop a lot of weight just with the nutrition.
Mhm.
It's the same with someone who's really slim.
Mhm.
There's no rocket science here. People make it out like it's some real, deep conundrum, but it's not.
Metaphysical, weird
It's not.
guru.
It's
Yeah.
very simple. If you're overweight, you're obviously not eating the right things. You're eating probably too much, because when we eat,
Mm.
when we consume food, essentially it's energy.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine a scale, it's energy.
Mhm.
So if we have surplus energy and we're not matching it with exercise or just our day-to-day life,
Right.
then it's going to stock into fat
Mhm.
because it's energy that's not used.
Mhm.
For example, it's just going to stay there. It's just going to stay there. Same way, if we've got someone who's really skinny
Mhm.
and they're not consuming enough,
Mhm.
that balance now, they're not consuming enough, but
Mhm.
they're going to be really slim because there's nothing in them, you
Mhm.
know? So they need to eat more in order to feel their day-to-day lives, because
Right.
most likely someone who's very, very active, they may be working in a restaurant, they're always on their feet and
Right.
they only eat once a
Right.
day.
Right.
So that is going to result in someone really slim and looking malnourished,
Right. Right.
So what we need really is to find a balance so
Mhm.
that the energy that we're putting out is matching what we're putting in.
Okay.
Because energy in, the calories in and calories out. You can never burn as much calories out by exercising in the gym. You
Okay.
could eat a meal right now. Like, for example, you guys have In and Out, right? You go to In and Out, yeah, and
Ew.
that's already like 1,400 calories.
Right.
In the gym, a very intense workout, I'm talking about a 30-minute run on the treadmill with some weight training, and you'll still only burn like 700 calories.
Wow. Wow.
So already, even that is so, and that's also why some people they'll be in the gym for hours and hours, 5 days a week, but the nutrition they can never catch up. They can never catch up. So
Wow.
we need to create a balance. So 80% is going to be, we need to strip back the nutrition
Uh-huh.
and we need to look at what you're eating currently. You'd be
Right.
surprised by how much oil, how much fats, all of too much, way,
Right.
way too much.
Right.
Processed food is a danger as well. You
Right.
want to try and get food in its most natural state possible.
Yes.
You know, I
Yes.
know we don't all have farms. That would be the ideal. We all should have a farm where we can grow our own food,
Right.
but we can still do the best that we can in the situation we're in, you know?
That's what it's about. See, people use so many things as stopping points. I'm not going to say excuses because there's a difference between excuses and reasons. There are excuses, but people might look at let's say a person that just goes and they buy all this stuff at maybe Whole Foods. It's organic and they're able to do these different things. And then they compare their life to that. And it's like, no, you have to start where you are. If all you have right now is canned vegetables,
That's
canned
it.
vegetables is going to be better for you than that Snickers bar, that quick convenience food. You use what you have and you pray for Yah to provide the rest. And that's
Hallelujah.
the thing. And including like exercise. People look at all these fitness people doing all this fancy stuff. I see you outside with people and you're at a playground. And it's like, wow, what if you just put on your shoes, you walk to the playground and you run around a bit, you get your children or your grandchildren, you run around a bit, you'll burn calories with that. And then they have the pull-up bars and all this stuff. I tried that the other day. I have nothing in the middle. Like I have no energy there to pull up. Like my core needs it needs something. But I mean, that's just truly elementary, the things that we can do to even get started. Why don't you
Yeah.
talk about simple walking? How does walking help one that is just, like they're just wanting to start?
That's just wanting to start. Yeah, no, walking really helps. So gentle, light walking every day. So like you said, if you can just go to a playground or
Mhm,
go to the park, take a walk of a morning, it's
mhm.
gonna help because overall now it's something called like active calories, So what you're doing is like you're actually exercising without technically exercising. Like it's not like you're gonna have to do a big workout. No, you're kind of what we call it's like cheating because it's like I'm doing things that are more active in order to get in more calories burned. So for example, it's like me, the way I get around is on my skates. I
Okay.
get around on my skates in order to get that little bit of cardio in.
But what kind of skates? You mean like inline skates or what?
Inline rollerblades, yeah, that's what I'm talking
Oh,
about. So
okay.
I get I get around in those,
Okay.
right? In order to get some extra cardio in without actually having to go for a 45 or 50-minute jog because it
Okay.
doesn't have to be long. It's
Right.
actually more effective if you do it in a shorter burst at a lighter intensity, you
Okay.
know?
Okay.
Because the problem is when you start doing it for so long,
Mhm.
you've got to think it's got to be something you're able to sustain
Yeah.
and take pleasure in doing it.
Yeah.
So what we're talking about here is you might make it part of your routine that you wake up in the morning, you go for a walk. Whilst you're walking, you're meditating.
Yeah.
Whilst you're walking, you're thinking about yeah.
Mhm.
And whilst you're thinking about yeah, you don't realize the calorie counter is going down. You
Right.
see, but
Right.
you enjoy that moment. You
Mhm.
enjoy doing that. You're not going through hell and back to try and
Like
it's easy.
killing yourself, like, oh, I can't do this. Yeah. Mhm.
It's just like another strategy. Whenever you get to a building
Mhm.
and there's an elevator and there's the stairs, you know
Mhm.
you're going to take the stairs because it's going to be better for you.
Exactly.
That's what you should be trying to do in your life to get those extra.
That's true.
You, I mean, when you go to the supermarket,
Yes.
you want to park in a spot that's further away from the supermarket. So then you're gonna have to walk. All,
Yes.
all these little things add up in the course of a week.
Yes. Yes.
To
That's
the
true.
point where now, when it comes to actually working out, you only need it maybe 2-3 times a week.
Right.
That's it.
Right. Right. Well, that's true. And sometimes it helps if you are in a group setting, but sometimes it doesn't help if you're in a group setting. You just have to kind of find your way, I think. Like, you
Yeah.
just have to find out what's going to work for you. What is it that keeps you motivated in deciding that you want better health? But what we're going to do is we're going to take a commercial break. We want to invite you all again to call us at 314-744-9414, or you can also text. You can also join us on social media, but we're going to take this short commercial break, enjoy some scripture. I'm your sister Cece, and again, we are talking to our brother Luka of KKan Motivate. Join us again in just a little while. Thank you. Praise Yah for the word. I'm reading from the Sefer, and the book is Sirach, also called the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 3. Hear me, your father, O children, and do thereafter, that ye may be safe. For Yahuwah has given the father honor over the children, and has confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons. Whoso honors his father makes an atonement for his sins, and he that honors his mother is as one that lays up treasure. Whoso honors his father shall have joy of his own children, and when he makes his prayer, he shall be heard. He that honors his father shall have a long life, and he that is obedient unto Yahuwah shall be a comfort to his mother. He that fears Yahuwah will honor his father and will do service unto his parents as to his Adonim. Honor your father and mother, both in word and deed, that a blessing may come upon you from them. For the blessing of the father establishes the houses of children, but the curse of the mother roots out foundations. Glory not in the dishonor of your father, for your father's dishonor is no glory unto you. For the glory of a man is from the honor of his father, and a mother in dishonor is a reproach to the children. My son, help your father in his age, and grieve him not as long as he lives. And if his understanding fail, have patience with him, and despise him not when you are in your full strength. For the relieving of your fathers shall not be forgotten, and instead of sins, it shall be added to build you up. In the day of your affliction, it shall be remembered. Your sins also shall melt away as the ice in the fair warm weather. He that forsakes his father is as a blasphemer, and he that angers his mother is cursed of Elohim. My son, go on with your business in meekness, so shall you be beloved of him that is approved. The greater you are, the more you humble yourself, and you shall find favor before Yahuwah. Many are in high place and of renown, but mysteries are revealed unto the meek. For the power of Yahuwah is great, and he is honored of the lowly. Seek not out things that are too hard for you, neither search the things that are above your strength. But what is commanded you, think thereupon with reverence, for it is not needful for you to see with your eyes the things that are in secret. Be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are showed unto you than men understand. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion has overthrown their judgment. Without eyes you shall want light. Profess not the knowledge, therefore, that you have not. A stubborn heart shall fare evil at the last, and he that loves danger shall perish therein. An obstinate heart shall be laden with sorrows, and the wicked man shall heap sin upon sin. In the punishment of the proud there is no remedy, for the plant of wickedness has taken root in him. The heart of the prudent will understand a parable, and an attentive ear is the desire of a wise man. Water will quench a flaming fire, and alms make an atonement for sins. And he that requites good turns is mindful of that which may come hereafter, and when he falls, he shall find a stay. Praise Yah. All right, everyone. Thank you. Shout out to Yediah. That was Yediah talking about how Yah will deliver. We just want to send a shout out to all our artists that make this wonderful music that is given all praise and all glory to the Most High Yah. No frills, no craziness, no vanity, none of that. They are giving Yah the praise. So we just thank you for our people who choose to be seniors in this walk, because they know that they are examples. They are the light that we are to be shining into this dark, disgusting world. We are just so thankful for them. And I mean, I'm motivated daily by the word just that comes from these artists. So again, shout out to you all. We love you. We so appreciate you. And we pray that all of your endeavors are blessed. If you have new music, of course, we're sitting over here waiting for it. But we just thank you. We are definitely excited to play your music and display what it is that Yah is doing in your life. So what we are doing today is Be Well Wednesday, of course. And we're talking to our brother, Luka. And he is a KKan motivate, and he is motivating us to get it together. You know, we talked about the people on my 600-pound life, and we're talking about different things like walking and going to the park. I myself, like, I like to walk to, we got a park about 15 minutes away. It's a 15-minute walk. And I remember the first time I walked to this park, I thought the walk would never end. And I was kind of freaking out because I was like, did I underestimate myself? Like, how far is this park really? Because when you drive, things are so much faster. And I
Yeah.
said, oh, I'm going to walk to the park. It's not that far. But once I started walking, because the surroundings are different, like you're taking in all of this stuff. So I was kind of like overstimulated because I didn't realize this tree had apples. This tree had black walnuts. This one,
Wow.
I didn't, but I'm like, how is all this stuff happening around me? And I don't know it. Like, is this park really far away? So I was like overstimulated. But once I got there, of course, I was like, okay, it wasn't that bad. And then I started doing it on a regular basis. On top of that, I'm pushing a stroller with the child. It's a double stroller with the child, and she is about 50 pounds. So I have
Yeah.
been motivated to do that. And I know that if I do that, then I've actually exercised. And people need to recognize that there's simple things that you can do, like taking the child to the park, pushing the stroller, walking. And this is the biggest one. If you really clean your house, you are exercising.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, because you're down there scrubbing the baseboards, you're up here, you're just doing all this different stuff. And you will even feel that in your body if you are really, really cleaning your house. And it doesn't matter like how small or how big your house is. Like you put that work in, you are definitely sweating, which is what we need, and you are getting a full-on workout. That's my discovery.
That's it. That's exactly right. And the funny thing on what you said about, taking out the stroller and it's 50-pound babies, yeah.
Yeah.
There's actually a study that came out that said if the babies see the mother working out, there's an 80% chance that that child's going to be active as well.
Oh, you know what?
So,
You're not telling a lie because we have this little gym here. And like she gets in there before I do. She knows the code to unlock the thing. And then she goes over to the thing. She's like, okay, basically spot me, because it has like all these weights, but she can't lift those, so I put it on nothing. So it's kind of heavy. But she's like, okay, let's go. So she does each and every little thing, and then I get to work out, you know.
it's
She
great.
wants to do every one of them. And I'm like, wow, okay, well, maybe you're going to be a fitness trainer when you grow up because you really like this, But
Yeah, it's good. So then we can all be role models to the generation coming up.
yeah, and that's my
They,
granddaughter, not my daughter. So, yeah. So
yeah,
hopefully it's jumping back there and grabbing her. And she just is going to be one that is really motivated to not only exercise, but also, just be healthy and and just healthy in what she eats and all of that stuff. So that's what I'm looking forward to. But what we should talk about is more solutions for people. Like
okay.
you just have to find your way. Some people exercise better alone. Some people exercise better in a group. Can you talk about like group exercise and how that might work?
Yeah, I mean, group exercise works because you have this camaraderie and you kind of can build like relationships between people. It's a real social event.
Mhm,
So you have a lot of fun as well.
mhm.
Um, One-on-one training, it depends on the trainer, I say. It depends on the trainer because one-on-one training can be very fun. In fact, I have a girl right now who has stepped away from collective training to do one-on-one training with me. She tried it and she's actually said so far she enjoys it. It's not a
Oh,
problem. She
wow.
was dragging her feet before thinking that it's going to be one-on-one. Eyes are going to be completely on me. Like I can't get away with doing certain things now because there's a
Right.
coach on me.
Uh-huh.
But he's enjoying it. So it just depends on you, your personality. But I think it really depends on the coach as well. I think it's important to hire the right coach.
Mhm.
Um, and essentially, you're not going to know really if you hired the right coach until you start working with this coach. How
Right.
does he respond? And this is where, for me as a coach, what I like to do with my clients is really make it a personal service. So
Yeah.
I'm there to keep you accountable.
Mhm.
I'm not just going to give you a plan and leave you alone and say, get on with it. I'm going to be following you like on a weekly basis. I'm going to be sending you messages. I'm going to be having consultations like this to see how it's going. I want to know what you're eating. I want to know what you don't like to eat, what you like to eat. I want to build a lifestyle for you.
Uh-huh.
That way you can take what I've given you away, and
Uh-huh.
that stays with you for life. You
Uh-huh.
know,
Uh-huh.
I'm not here for you to be with me for years on years and years and years. No, I'm here to teach you
Right.
what you need to know for a certain period of time, whatever that may be, 3 months, 6 months, generally no longer than a year. And then that should give you the motivation to be able to do it independently, you
Yes.
know.
Yes. Because then they have
That's
the wantingness and the willingness to do it. It's not a chore. And you're not any longer trying to find these cheat days. I mean, that just like grinds my gears when I hear people talk about cheat days. And because I say, well, who are you cheating? Like you're cheating yourself. Like when you run out and you go eat the pizza, the whole pizza by yourself, you're
yeah,
having,
yeah.
you're having a cheat day. Okay, so how far is that setting you back? Not just in the calorie realm, but in your mind, you're thinking that this is okay and it's beneficial. Because what people don't realize is when you change your what you're consuming, because some things, let's just be real, some things that people consume are not food. Okay, they're
Yeah.
not food. And when you get used to consuming real food, then the fake food is just like you're eating your child's plastic toy food. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
If you're eating that plastic fake toy food, you'll get sick because your body's like, no, I don't like that, and your palate changes, your tongue
That's
desires
it.
things like people tell me, like my husband, he'd be like, he used to like that. He didn't like avocados. He used to like avocados, but now he can't live without an avocado every day in his lunch, and that's because his palate has completely changed.
That's it. So
Mhm.
what I would say, as going back to versus collective versus individual,
Mhm.
the pluses of collective is the fact that you're going to have a social setting, is kind of motivating that everyone's doing it with you. The
Mhm.
downside to that is that the coach can't necessarily focus on you individually, make
Right.
sure, because what we need to make sure we're doing when we're exercising is we're doing things safely. What
Yeah.
can also put people off is if they get injured, now they've built a relationship with going to this training that I get injured here, so I'm not going to do this again, you
Okay.
know? So there's that. For the individual one-on-one coaching, the plus side, it's a very personalized service. You have an expert who's there, he's working for you. And in
Mhm.
fact, a lot of the time with my clients, we build relationships where it becomes therapy. It's
Mhm.
not just training, there's more behind it because we're talking about a lifestyle.
Yeah.
So that's the plus there. What could the downside be? The downside can be maybe the cost sometimes. That could be the downside of one-on-one coaching, you
Right.
know? And just being able to turn up. The thing is, because you hire a coach and he's onto you,
Mhm.
it's unlikely that you won't turn up because if you've paying for a service, then you want to reap the service, you know.
Right.
It makes sense, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, the only downside actually could be the fact that I'm me personally with my service,
Mhm.
I'm not going to be there with you like in person. I'm going to be there with you virtually online,
Uh-huh.
which we still get very effective work done, but you're not going to be able to see me in real life and whatever. And we can,
Unless they live where you live. I mean, if they live where you
let them live, yeah.
live, yeah, then they
You
can do
can live
that.
where I live. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But I think
yeah,
people should be open to trying a lot of different things so that they can find what's going to work for them. And I
that's
know
it.
for me, variety works. Like I had a personal trainer, and that was the
Okay,
best work of my life. Like I'm still bragging about that today, um,
good.
because I realized how I learn. One, if I'm in a group setting, I'm going to be distracted. I'm going to be distracted by the people. I'm going to love the social setting, talking to people, and doing all that. That's not what I'm there for. That's not what they're there for. But if I have a personal trainer, there's only so much to know about this person, really, and they can talk to me while we're working out, and I think that we would be more intentional about the things that we're doing, together, and I would be more accountable versus in a group setting. A group setting does not work for me. So it's either me being alone or me with a
Yeah.
trainer.
I think the important thing there as well is we need to be open to trying new things.
Yes.
So either way, whether it be a virtual trainer, whether it be in person,
Yeah.
we have to be open to trying it because you don't really know. You can't really tick the box until you've tried it.
Right.
Try it first and see.
Yeah.
Because In fact, I was even doing a testimonial with a client today, and I asked him the same question. I said, "What would you?" And I'm going to put this on my social media later. I said, "What would you do? What would you say to people who don't know about KKan Motivate if they're on the fence? What would you say to them?" He said, "Just try it. You have to try because once you've tried it, now you know what you're getting yourself into. You know how I work, and then it just speaks for itself. But until
Right.
you don't try, you're not gonna know."
Yeah. You're not gonna know, and then later on you're gonna be like, woulda, coulda, shoulda. And I've said this many times, people just need to get started because we've had all this fun and all the drinking and eating things that are not food and gained all this excess weight and all of that. But I like to always look at this example because I know it happened to me. Like I had a serious health issue and I ended up in the hospital. So it's
Right.
like this. What if you end up in the hospital because you have a serious health issue, whether it be a sickness or you're in a car accident, and you fail to work out and lose the weight? Well, a lot of times when you go to the hospital, they're going to put you on steroids and all these other things that are going to make you even more big or bigger, in larger size, and inflate you, cause all kinds of inflammation. Well, your body is more likely to be able to fight off these things if you are in shape versus if you're not. You don't want to be that person who is kind of big, but then before you know it, you're really big because you're on these medications, and then you have to be in this scooter because your body wasn't able to do anything. So the best bet for you is to start now, so your body is conditioned to fighting these invaders off, right?
Of course. And I'm gonna bring it now. Let me bring it to the Bible. Just something that I saw the other day, and
Okay.
I was like, wow. So I'm gonna go to Genesis 6. Yeah. I'm no I'm no preacher, I'm no pastor. This is just what I'm reading, I see it, and I'm just gonna share it. And then whoever listens, you make whatever you want of it. But
That's fine.
for me, I truly believe there's something there that
Okay.
to pay attention to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Genesis 6:3, I'm gonna read it, yeah.
Okay.
It says, and Yahuwah said, my Ruach shall not always strive with man, for
Mm,
that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. That's it.
okay.
So the question there, my thought process there was like, how many people live today to 120?
Mm,
Not many. Not many even get past 100. Not many even get past 90 or even 80. That is a problem because Yah is telling us here that 120 is going to be the limit.
mm,
So there should be more people living to this age,
right.
but it's not happening. And
Yeah.
when we look at society and we look at everything, capitalism, all of it is designed to for us to die prematurely. You
Right.
see,
Hmm.
and these are the forces that we're fighting against as well. We know.
Yes.
So that right there should be motivation in itself to say, right, I need to take care of myself because essentially, Yah is telling us here that we should be able to live to 120. We won't go past 120,
Hmm.
right? But
Hmm.
at least be in your hundreds. You know?
Right. Right. And the Bible says
Yeah,
my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And I think that that lack of knowledge
there you go.
is what captures us, and we're unable to move forward in the knowledge and information that we need to preserve ourselves so that we can be sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
And you look, you read the Bible and you see how long these people lived. Okay,
There
and
you go.
we also studied, like, they were bigger than us. They were larger than us. They weren't like, we're like shrimps compared to them. They were bigger.
Yeah, yeah.
And so you can see over time where we have become deteriorated, So
Mm-hmm.
so in that there's knowledge and there's information and there's seeking Yah, and they're saying, well, Yah, what do I need to do? Like, what is it that I should be doing different than my ancestors did? Well, we know that the eating definitely has had to
Yep.
change because
There you go.
when we were in the land, of course things were different, but then when we came to this Western society, we began eating things that were really not edible, like pig and all this other stuff. So that, I think, that deteriorated us even more, and we can see where now, because of COVID, I think that's deteriorated us even more. And what I like to say is, the elders are now in their 50s. So if you're now in your 50s, you're now considered the elder. It's no
You
longer
know,
like 70s and 80s because they are extinguishing people in their 70s and 80s by this COVID shot or whatever thing they have going on.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So it's
Exactly.
like gone from 900 years to 600 years to 4, then 2, and now
Yeah.
we're barely at 1. It's a celebration if somebody actually gets
Oh,
to
yeah.
80.
And you know what? There's a show, I might give it to you in a link. There's a show I just watched recently and it's called The Centenarians, right?
Okay.
And funny enough, most of these people that are living over 100, they're not wealthy.
Right.
They're not in a situation where, oh, they can get the best of everything. No, what they are mostly is people in like Costa Rica, for example, in the mountains in Japan,
Uh-huh.
or even some in Italy in the mountains, in these little villages.
Hmm.
And what actually brings health is community for one.
Yeah.
Not being alone has a massive impact.
Yeah.
So that's sense of community.
Hmm.
Eating correctly, they have a farm that's how they're sustaining. They don't necessarily have money. They don't have money. They just have a farm and animals, and they keep grow the foods from the land,
Hmm.
and that's the kind of diet they have. And but they have their family around them,
Hmm.
so this is contributing to them living longer. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Yeah. And
There
I
you
think there's a lot of truth to that. And, I think back to years ago, we look at today. I mean, there's really nothing new under the sun, as the Bible says. People
Yeah,
were flashy back in the day. They're flashy today, and they spend money on things that they shouldn't back then, and they do that now. But a lot of people have a story about being in poverty and being poor and not having enough to eat. And I
yeah,
actually think that that is like saved us somewhat because you didn't have all of this king's table. You didn't have all this food to be satiated with. So maybe you
yeah,
had one meal a day. Maybe you had like dinner, but then the other two meals you might have had school breakfast or school lunch. So you
yeah.
weren't overwhelmed with all these different snacks. So I think your body just had a different composition and you may have been healthier where it is you saw that you were in poverty, but you know, Yah works differently. His ways are not our ways. So
Go.
in that, he was able to preserve us. Whereas if you back then were able to eat all the junk that you eat today, you probably wouldn't be around.
Exactly. This
Hmm.
is it. This is
Hmm.
it. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's it.
Hmm.
That's it.
Yeah. So now, do you do actual meal planning with people? Like, can they sit down with you? Can you take them like to the grocery store? Like, I don't know, virtually? Can you do that? Have you done that?
Yeah, I can. So what I can do is give you meals. I can give you
Okay.
meals that you can cook for yourself.
Okay.
But in general, the way I like to do it is I don't give like a diet fits all. I don't
Okay.
do that.
Okay.
I really want to get to know you and the foods you like.
Okay.
And what we will do is I'll take you through phases of nutrition,
Okay.
step by step. Because if I give you everything in one go, it's going to overwhelm you. You're not going to follow it.
Yeah.
So at first, I'm going to do a journal where I look at what you're eating right now. And then slowly we scale it back or change a few things
Mhm.
to what you still like to eat. There's
Mhm.
a few things that you just want to really give it a try. Maybe you're not used to it, but just give it a try and you let me know how you feel. And
Okay.
then little by little, we then build a meal plan that is for you, what you enjoy, and something that you can stick to. That it's important. It's something that you can stick to, but it's not a diet. It's just a new way of eating.
Mhm.
That is how you're going to eat from now on, and then
Right.
that will even trickle down into your family, to your
Yeah.
children,
Yeah.
everyone. Because everyone needs it. So that's the way I kind of operate. I don't really. I'm not like, oh, you're gonna have to have just 500 calories today and not eat, or you're gonna have to do an intermittent fast, not eat for
Right.
this amount of time, and then start eating again. I'm really looking at something that is sustainable,
Right.
that you can follow, and you're not gonna stop doing it. You
Right.
know, then the minute because what people have to understand in any weight loss, if you drink a smoothie every day, you're gonna lose weight.
Mhm.
But best believe you have to keep drinking a smoothie every day
Right.
to keep the weight off. Because
Right.
whenever you stop doing that and go back to the way you were eating, you're just going to put it on again. And sometimes put it on even more severe than what you did in the beginning.
With a vengeance.
Exactly. So this is why it's important to, the body needs time. You need to train your body again. Even it's because, there's some things that we get addicted to, like sugar.
Mm-hmm.
So it's even about training the palate again
Mm-hmm.
to kind of get rid of that sugar slowly and start appreciating things like fruits instead, you know, which
Mm-hmm.
is still sweet, but it's the good sugar, not the refined sugar.
Right,
See?
right. Yeah.
So
We need to
there's
know
things
what
like
those,
that as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, talk about vitamins and supplements because it's just kind of all over the place, the knowledge concerning vitamins and supplements. How do you
Yeah.
feel about vitamins and supplements?
I think they're good. They
Mhm.
can they can definitely boost you if you have a deficiency. That's what they're there for. Um, I would always encourage people to try and get it from your food first
Mhm.
because there's a lot we can get from food. But then there's some supplements or plants I can say, like moringa, for example, is a power plant.
Right,
It's like a super plant. It's like a superfood. You
right.
have ashwagandha as well. You have all of these powder-based plant like supplements
Yes.
that really can be very beneficial for your health, like sea moss as well,
Mhm.
right? These are more natural ish, because things are still processed. This is where it kind of gets like on thin line, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Um, I would just make sure that whatever supplement you're taking, you really try to do your research. You have to do your research because we really don't know what's in a lot of these supplements.
Mhm.
So do your research, and if you can get it in the most freshest form possible, it's always going to be the best, and it's always going to retain its nutrition. Because the minute it gets processed, it's broken down. You lose a bit, you lose a bit, you lose a bit. So
Right.
that's why if you can grow a moringa plant, you grow it and you take it and you crush it yourself.
Yeah.
That's why getting fresh sea moss is going to be the best for you.
Mm. Yeah.
So in terms of that, I would say tread lightly, do your research, try to get it from your food first.
Mhm.
There's a lot you can get from just eating correctly. You
Right.
know,
Right.
people,
That's
that's all. Avocado, eat more avocado.
right.
Eat more fruits, have more vegetables.
Right.
These things are already going to give you a lot of vitamins and a lot of what you need. You know.
Right, right. And when you do those things, you will eliminate better because a lot of people don't realize that constipation is due to just poor lymphatic drainage,
Yeah,
just poor, you're just not getting rid of things correctly and you're not eating the correct foods. And so things are not able to go out. So you want things to go out because that's where your weight loss is going to come to, where when you just start sweating, perspiring, using the bathroom like you're supposed to, getting your proper water and all of this stuff, that's where all the transformation is going to happen.
that's where a lot of oil comes in. If you have a lot of oily foods, it can really clog you up. A lot of flour and things like that is
Yeah.
so good. So
Yeah.
this is where you then have to add different foods that are going to make you, fibrous foods
Yeah.
are going to help you to go toilet.
Yeah. My favorite fibrous thing right now is psyllium husk.
What's that?
Psyllium husk.
Psyllium husk.
Yes. Psyllium
Wow.
husk is a very, very good fiber. Yeah, just shake a little in the water and drink it. It's like a goo. So when it goes into your system, it grabs everything. So if you're gonna
Brings it
take,
all together.
yeah,
Okay.
coagulate it all together. But if you gotta like not take your supplements before that because it's gonna take those out too. It's like, oh, you're coming with me.
Yeah, it drains everything.
It's like a glue. It just goes through your system and it just makes everything come out well. That and also charcoal. I love charcoal. That's good for you.
Alcohol, yeah.
Yeah,
That
that's
one.
a good. They're both good binders. So, we have to realize that there are things that we have to do differently. There are things
Mhm.
that have set up camp in our systems. Exercise and correct fitness mindsets and just all these different things that we need to do are going to put us on the right track. We don't expect perfection, but we do serve the perfect one, and he will put us where we need to be, and you will feel much better for it. So we want to make sure that all of our people know this. Now, for you, Brother Luca, we want to again stress and emphasize that people reach out to you, because I think that just talking with you is a great motivation for people. And, you know, if somebody has somebody that they can sort of be accountable to, like accountability is even looking at the videos that you have on Instagram. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if they can do this, we want to make sure that, they do it. So let them know again how to access you on social media, and then
yeah,
also how to get your information via email or whatever.
yeah.
Hmm.
So what you need to do for social media is going to be Instagram or Facebook. Okay, on Instagram it's going to be at KKan Motivate, all in one word, and you can just follow me or just send me a message. I'll respond to you. Same on Facebook. Find the Facebook page KKan Motivate. Send a message. You can get through to me. If not, you can also send a direct email to me, which is again, kcanmotivate, all in one word, at gmail.com. Okay. You also have my website, which is www.kcanmotivate.com. And there's a contact there. You can just send a message and reach out to me. So these are all the ways you can reach out to me. And just feel free to reach out. Literally anything, you know. Me, I'm quite an open person. I'm always ready to give anyone advice, you know. Even if you've been thinking at home, oh, I wanna get into a routine, I'm not sure what to do. Okay, reach out to me and I will see how I can help you. You know, even if it's the simplest of things, I'm happy to do that. Because I want people to get into doing exercise. I want them to feel healthy and feel young again. And it's all about longevity. That's what it is, longevity. That's the word to retain. Longevity. We need to regain our longevity.
Absolutely. Well, I definitely agree. And of course, we have the video pulled up here. I love this website. It's just great because it just shows exactly what you do. There's no guesswork. Um, I just, I'm very impressed by it. You know, it shows you working out, you work out yourself. You are very
Yes.
active. You know, you were an athlete, or you are an athlete. I don't know. Yeah, you are an athlete. Um,
I'm an athlete. Yeah, I will tell you now to just tell you what I did today. Today I had 3 training sessions and then I had kung fu in the evening. So in the beginning of that video, that's me doing some kung fu because
oh,
now I've transitioned and I'm doing kung fu. So um, I did 3 training sessions today. I've been up since 7 a.m.
oh,
and it's now here. It's now 10 p.m.
okay.
and I'm still full of energy.
That's amazing. And you're not on coffee.
And I don't drink coffee. I don't drink tea.
Oh, you don't drink tea either. Oh, goodness.
The
Okay.
only the only tea I drink is the herbal. What I mean by tea is that when it's the caffeinated one, I only drink herbal teas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. I
None
understand.
none of the teas I drink for energy. In
Okay.
fact, a secret that I have for energy is actually grapefruit. I have half a grapefruit on a daily basis, and that fires up the energy.
Okay. Now, I didn't know that about the grapefruit, but that is definitely something we want to keep note of.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that people have the opportunity to reach out to you. We thank you so much. Um,
Well,
don't 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 be a stranger, but don't get off of here either, because we have a few minutes and I'm going to chat with you when this is over.
okay.
But we want to make sure that everybody gets fit, gets, get your exercising, get your health up, because
Yeah.
these people are ramping up their craziness again. Craziness
Mhm.
never ends with this world system, this Babylon stuff. So why would you not get ahead of the game? Take care of your health. Pray to Yah. Ask him to give you the strength that you need to endure to the end. The Bible talks about Satan wearing out the saints, and this is the way that he wears you out, is by making you
True.
sick. I'll say fat, sick, and nearly dead. That's a movie on YouTube. Make sure you look it up. I'm telling you, those movies are motivators. You can see people that have come out of the darkness of being satiated by food and non-food. We'll put some links after this. You'll have
Hmm.
links. We'll put some links there. We'll put some links of YouTube movies that you might want to watch to motivate yourself to just get yourself together. But yeah, I mean, we want to thank you, brother, for joining us. It's been great.
Thank you for having me. And the last thing I will say is that look, just like what you said, if you come in a situation and you need to run, you don't want to be the last one left behind. You want to be like Moses, up and out of there.
Yes, up and out, and let Yah put those jet propulsions on you, bam, and
Yeah.
you're gone. I mean, because you have been exercising and doing your due diligence to your health. But I'm your
Yeah.
sister Cece, and we're going to read our scripture. You know it's Philippians 4:8. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue and if there be any praise, think on these things. I'm your sister Cece for PQLR1 Radio, where Yah is always first. We thank you for joining us. This has been an episode of Be Well Wednesday. Be well, and we'll talk to you again very soon. Praise Yah.